The challenges which are facing Indian education system today are not very different from what is being faced across the world. The four issues continue to remain the same, which is access, quality, equity and relevance. But what is of real concern is to ensure that there is 100% literacy amongst the population. Now, while we have moved ahead on this agenda, where we have an average of almost 81% of the population which is literate, on the other side we do have a situation where there's almost a 15% gap in gender literacy, which means as compared to say 82 or 83% of male literacy, we have 65% of female literacy. And this we are talking about the youth literacy rate. If you look at the average nation literacy rate, it's only about 75% plus, and we are looking at almost 2060 by when 100% literacy could be achieved. Now, this is a matter of deep concern because women education and child education for girls is the fundamental foundation on which society's development, as well as a multiplier effect in enhancing literacy rates and the value of education is concerned. Now, as far as the girl child is concerned and her access to education is concerned, in India it's particularly peculiar because it has a lot to do with how society looks at girls amongst us. And if we see that it is really the states where the girl child's position compared to the boy child is lower in perception in the social norms, is where the literacy rate for girls is the poorest. So if you look at states like Rajasthan, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and that's a matter of deep concern because that's also where the population is largest. Now, we have been doing a lot in this country towards achieving 100% literacy in terms of having all children go to school. But the real concern is to have them be retained in the school. Now, in terms of the girl child, the issues relate to there not being adequate toilet facilities in many of the government schools, particularly in the rural areas. But even in the urban areas, there is a question of shared toilet facilities because society still tends to remain a little segregated in terms of how and where they send their girl child to be educated. And these are issues that still need to be challenged. As far as education of the girl child is concerned, for instance, APJ has set up the APJ Satya Group, many schools in the rural areas, some which we gave to the community to run, some which we have been also running ourselves. And what we have seen is that schools that were given to the community to run, in many a times over the years became dilapidated and we need to now have to go back and intervene in many of those areas. And I think the reason for this is that in our societal mores, if a family has to send between a boy and a girl to be educated to a school, the preference is always invariably given to the boy. So when we are looking at girl's child, three things become very important in terms of ensuring that she gets the kind of education that she has a right to have. One is that the education should be as low cost as possible, so that parents are encouraged to send their girl child to study. Second is the access in terms of the nearness of the school to the place where the girl child is staying, the ability to be able to provide girl and lady teachers for the girl child, and also things which one doesn't normally think of, like toilet facilities which are separate for girls, and where the girl child can feel secure, and more important, her family can feel secure about sending her to those schools. Whether it is a man or a woman, an entrepreneur by very definition should have the ability and the desire to take risks. In today's world, I believe more and more women have now been able to get into entrepreneurship, because if you see the young generation that is coming up, many more of the women are better educated, they have better sense of their self-worth, more self-confidence. Perhaps this is due to greater exposure. It is due to the fact that they have grown up in families where their mothers were also well educated. And also perhaps they have better access to finance than it used to be in previous times. Although even today, getting the first time finance is a major problem, whether it is for a man or a woman, but definitely much more for the woman. But having said that, at least she is able to have more of her money or be able to persuade her family and other concerned people in being able to get that kind of guarantees or collateral that may be needed for her to be able to start her own venture. And I have seen in some of the cases, many of the women who have started their enterprises sometimes have started that with almost hardly any capital. It has been more on their sense of courageousness, their desire to do something in life, their having a wonderful idea which they really believe will bring something to the marketplace, and because they believe so strongly in what themselves and in their product, they have become very, very successful and were able to persuade both financial institutions as well as people around them to invest in their venture. And I think that is what really counts. Of course, in the rural areas, government initiatives and bank initiatives, also some of the other groups who are financing and helping finance the self-help group of women in taking forward cooperative and joint ventures together is also helping women in the rural areas to start coming up.